Hello, I'm lucky enough to be joined with Craig Oldroyd from O2, who's going to be talking to us a little bit about their mobile payments proposition. Okay, so Craig, what are consumers currently using mobile commerce for?
At the moment, the consumers have started to move away from discovery to actually perform the transactions on the mobile device. And you wouldn't be surprised that some of the common themes there are shopping, so the equivalent of shopping on the fixed web, banking, mobile applications. So again, the equivalent of the internet banking on your mobile is very common now, and also a lot of customers are starting to use it, particularly around insurance and that sorts of activities. But what feedback we've had is that the experience that you have on a mobile device isn't at the moment as good as what you can do on the fixed web, on the internet, and that's inhibiting customers' adoption to transact more through the mobile device. So some of the work that we're doing is to really make those customer journeys a lot more efficient and a better experience, and actually take away the pain of having to, like me, I've got very thick fingers, plod away on your mobile device, keying your information in, is to actually take that pain away and facilitate, I wouldn't say quite a one-click experience, but something that's approaching that.
Mm-hmm. And how can MNOs build trust for mobile payment momentum? Okay,
I mean, this is a real key question that we've taken very seriously. So we've done a lot of insight with our customer base, because one of the questions that's been raised with us is what gives you the right to play in this space. You have to earn the right to deliver certain products that are outside your core business. At the money card proposition that we did 18 months ago now, in late 2009, illustrated that our brand will stretch into, and we say financial services, but it's predominantly payments. That's our customer speaking, that's not us. That's our customers saying, yes, we trust your brand, and yes, we feel you have a right to play in this sector. So, that taught us a lot about our customers. We've taken heed of a lot of their input and a lot of their guidance, and I think that enables us to develop propositions that actually meet the customer's need in this payment space.
And Craig, who are the biggest competitors to banks if it's not the MNOs?
That's a really good question, and we spend a lot of time back at the office every day. The wires are hot with what somebody's doing in this sector, and typically it's not, the most of the activity is not from banks or mobile companies. The more worrying activity, but actually it's a challenge, it's good for us, is that the likes of the internet service providers, device manufacturers, internet wallets. So these are the likes of PayPal, the Googles, the device manufacturers. They're the people that have got a much closer relationship, often with the customer. And we see that as, I wouldn't say it's a threat, but I think they're the people that we have to keep a close eye on, and we have to be better than, or if not at least good as them in what they're doing.
So why did you choose to launch mobile payment services without a bank partner?
Okay, we did to start with. So actually we issued a payment product in 2009 with the Royal Bank of Scotland, which was a prepaid card. It was the money card, and there was the cash manager and load and go versions. And we learnt a lot from that exercise. So we did that in a bank partner model. And what that taught us was that if we're to develop compelling propositions, and do them in a very nimble and very quick way, the bank partner model probably isn't going to work for us, because I think banks tend to operate in a very different way. So the way that O2 works, and it's probably common across all the network operators, that we're extremely customer-centric in the propositions that we build. So a lot of what we do is based on consumer feedback, and as I say, the monetization of those propositions comes out of the back of it. So what that exercise taught us was that the bank partner model really won't work for us in delivering those propositions in the way that we want to deliver them. So it's because of that we've gone down this route of, as we say, we are making an application for our own e-money license, and we are contracting directly with each of the technology providers in the value chain, and that will enable us to deliver propositions that we believe meets the needs of our customer. So the most simple example I can give you is something which is, you know, is terms and conditions. We'll be able to write the terms and conditions of those for those products in our way, in our language, in our tone of voice, not in the language of, you know, a bank's legal practice. So that's something very simple, and it might be something somebody reads initially once and throws away, but they will be clearly understood because we will have had that input with our legal team to make sure that they're easily understood by the customer.
And have you faced any regulatory obstacles by doing this without a bank partner?
Not at all. We've met with the FSA. They're aware that we're making an application. Indeed, I wouldn't say we announced it in the press, but we made people aware in the press. They've been very welcoming. They want to support us. And when I say support us, they're offered us as much support as they can through that application process.
Do you think there might be challenges in other markets?
I can't comment outside the UK. I mean, we've heard some information today that in some of the other markets, the maturity of the second e-money directive is not as well established as it is in the UK. I think we're in a fortuitous position here. So I'm probably not qualified to answer for some of the other markets.
Sure. So what are the benefits of combining prepaid with contactless?
I think what the benefit for us is that it enables us to, where we see the wallet is, it's almost this transactional account that people will use on a day-to-day basis. And one of the biggest hooks, for instance, is kind of a transit activity like Oyster. And this will become an account where people will, in theory, manage their day-to-day spend. It's probably not going to be, the wallet's probably not going to be their account from which they pay their mortgage and their utility bills and, you know, the council tax, all those sorts of things. But what it hopefully will become is a product where people will manage their day-to-day spend. So it's where they'll place their spending money, where they buy their lunch from, where they buy their drinks at the pub from. And I think that's the area where it plays a particular sweet spot. Clearly, the proposition, we believe, provides a credible alternative to a standard current account for that unbanked or underbanked segment. Those that are kind of unhappy with the quality of the current account propositions that are in the market. So we think there are different segments, and which customers adopt them will vary in how they use them. But I think the majority of customers will use it in that place that it is their day-to-day, and I use the term spending money, but I think you understand what I mean by that.
And how are you finding the event so far?
I found it incredibly insightful. It's always good. I think what these events do is they tend to strip away the competitive nature of the business. So, you know, we've had the other two major mobile network operators here speaking today, which I think was really insightful, and being very open about what they're doing. I think equally I found the session from John Burns from the FSA interesting as well, about what's happening under this regulatory framework. And let's be frank, it's much easier to immerse yourself in it at an event like this than it is sat at the office reading a news bulletin. So I think that's the really important thing for me. You can kind of immerse yourself in it and keep what's happening back at the office in the background.
Great. Thank you very much, Craig, for your time today.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.